what's up, y'all? It's D about to react to this vid by Japan Chronicles. It's titled 10 Things in Japan and Korea That Just Make Sense. Okay, we're gonna see what's on here. People love to like romanticize these two countries, child. They do a lot. And granted, I liked both places, and I'm actually going back to Japan this year. So yeah, I mean, I enjoy both countries for sure, but I do think people are extra with it. But I will see if any of these things are familiar to me, and if they're not familiar, then I'll make sure I'll be on the lookout next time I go. But let's see what's on here. Let's watch.
3 things in Japan that prove they're already living in 2050 while the US is not. First,
this is how I know when people say things like that. I know they're not that familiar with Japan. And there's a thing too, if you consume a lot of content from foreigners who've just been to Japan, you're gonna get a very unrealistic, romanticized version of how Japan is. I recommend talking to people and getting content from people who actually live there and they are locals. I don't recommend the Japan influencers. And a big tell is when they say Japan is living in 2050 and those are foreigners making that content. And I've seen several Japanese people who live in Japan rolling their eyes at that and being like, that is not true. I hate when people say that. Like, that's so stupid. We're so behind in a lot of ways. This one Japanese influencer I was watching, she was saying how annoying it is how she has to like go get a check to pay her rent because they can't pay online. And she was like, so people talking about we live in the future, like, no. She was like, there's a lot of things that are very like outdated that, you know, happen here that, you know, people act like we're so modern in advance. Like, it's not like that in a lot of ways. So I like watching people who live there to get a more realistic idea of these places. Just throwing that out there.
Japan has jelly water to help people stay cool during the summer. At first glance, it looks like a regular bottle of water, but once you shake it, it turns into jelly. It has a ramune flavor with a minty aftertaste that makes it perfect for beating the heat. Next, some places offer...
I like the Poke waters. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong. But those waters, they're like all throughout Asia. I drink a lot of those.
Automatic plastic shoe covers. You just step into the machine and it wraps your shoe instantly to keep the floors clean. When it comes to coffee, Japan takes it to the next level. They have Nescafe Gold to-go cups. Just open the packaging, peel off the layer at the bottom to expose the grounds, pour in hot water, and boom, you've got an instant cup of coffee. If you're more into drip coffee, they've got that too. The filters are designed to hook right onto your cup and already have the coffee grounds inside. You pour in hot water and it slowly drips until your cup is full, fresh and hot in minutes. Lastly, Japan even upgraded fly swatters. After you swat the bug, there's a built-in tweezer on the handle so you can grab the insect and toss it out without ever touching it. In Japan, they have spray-on skincare cotton pads, so you don't have to keep buying those packs. There's this canister called the Cool Essence Cotton Maker. You spray the white foam onto your hand, and as soon as the air hits it, it turns into a cotton pad. You can use it right away to tighten your pores and hydrate your skin. Secondly, this is how you know you're in Japan. At some airports, you'll see sushi plates riding around the luggage claim conveyor belt. They're not real, they're just part of a cute setup to welcome travelers. And when the sushi passes, that's how you know the carousel has done a full loop. Next, toilet paper comes in flavors out here. Not the paper itself, but the cardboard tube in the middle is scented. They've got everything from strawberry to matcha. And the best part, you can sample the tissues before buying, so you know exactly what you're getting. Lastly, in Japan, refrigerators can open from both sides, making it easily accessible for people who tend to be left-handed. In Japan, sinks are often found on top of toilets.
I've never seen
These
that.
sinks are fully integrated into the toilet system as a genuine way.
I'm sorry, that would gross me out. I did not see this once when I was there. And mind you, I was in Japan for like almost 3 weeks. I did not see this anywhere or in Korea. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You gotta take these videos with a grain of salt. Because they're saying, oh, commonly, like this is very common there. If it's so common, I would have at least seen it once. I have not seen this.
To save water and money. After you flush, clean water flows from the faucet so you can wash your hands. And that same water then drains into the tank to be reused for the next flush. It's simple, smart, and eco-friendly. Secondly, in South Korea, they have keychains instead of credit cards. These are called...
I'm just thinking like, you just took a number 2 and you like gotta go. You know, I want to get away from the toilet like as much as much as possible, as quickly as I can. So I just wouldn't want to just hover there anyway. TMI. But yeah, and I'm also thinking of like washing your face. Is that the only sink in the bathroom as well? So do you have to lean over the toilet to wash your face? Because if it's not, and then there's still an additional sink, then wouldn't that defeat the purpose? I don't know.
Called T-Money keychains, and they're a more convenient version of a traditional card. You just tap to pay like you would with a credit card. They
Or you
work
can
for
use your
buses,
phone.
trains, taxis.
You can just use your phone and not have to waste your time buying this. There is an app that you can use, which is the Wallet app on iPhone. And this is any country you go to, by the way. And it's not in every single country, but whatever country you go to, if they have like a transit card, usually you can go to the Wallet app on your iPhone and you can add that transit card. So that is what I do when I take public transportation in a lot of countries, and I did that in Japan and it worked flawlessly. So you don't have to buy a car, you don't have to buy anything physical, it's just right on your phone. That's way more convenient. Just a tip.
And even convenience stores. Since they attach to your keys, they're easy to carry and harder to lose. They're also customizable, often shaped like animals or cartoon characters. You can reload them at an ATM by scanning the keychain and adding cash.
And yeah, you can reload straight on your phone. Through your Apple Pay straight to the card. Way more convenient than doing this.
Or top them up at any local convenience store. Watermelons are shaped very unusually in Japan. In some supermarkets, you'll actually find perfectly square or cube-shaped melons. They're not genetically tweaked, just grown inside clear box-shaped molds, so they fill out every corner as they ripen. Farmers slip the young watermelon into a square container and let it finish growing, and by harvest, it's taken on that cube form. The purpose of this is to ensure that it better fits in your fridge without rolling around. These watermelons can be heavy, so they're wrapped in string nets to make carrying them home a breeze. Secondly, Japan has self-closing jars that take the hassle out of sealing your foods. You just place the cap on top of the jar, and a built-in mechanism senses it, twists itself shut, and locks in freshness without you having to screw it on. Thirdly, robots deliver your food in hotels. In Japan, some hotels...
So some of these things are in other places, obviously, as well.
When you order food, they have a robot. They place the food in a robot, and it brings the...
And it's also important to note, sorry, I'm just interjecting a lot because I really hate false like travel content. I've talked about this before, but that's one thing that really grinds my gears, you know, because I just feel like it gives people unrealistic expectations, and then they travel to the place and they're disappointed. And they think like, oh, this is supposed to be in every case, right, or everywhere, and it's just not. Yeah, obviously every hotel isn't going to have that. None of the hotels I stayed at had this. But yeah.
Food strictly...
But yeah, also I was going to say that I've had this in the States as well, to where they have delivered with food with a robot.
...to your door. These robots get on the
And I'm only mentioning that because right at the beginning he's like, oh, this is what Japan got that US don't got. And it's like, false.
...elevator and automatically go directly to your room so you can receive your food. In Japan, these little tablets at your table may look edible, but they're not. In many restaurants across Japan, you'll find hand towels compressed into tiny tablets so you can clean your hands before eating. Once you add a bit of water, the tablet expands instantly, turning into a soft, wet towel you can use to wipe your hands. Lastly, they have chocolate melting cups. In Japan, you can find special cups designed to melt chocolate using a small tea light candle placed underneath. As the candle warms the cup, you can add chocolate chips or pieces on top, and they slowly melt into a warm, gooey treat as the candle burns. So, comment down below which one of these surprised you, and don't forget to subscribe. In South Korea, they have bag escalators. Many people tend to walk around with a lot of luggage in subways or airports, so bag escalators were added near areas that require stairs. This means you don't have to carry large bags up the stairs. You simply place your suitcase on the escalator and walk the stairs, while the escalator brings your bags to the top. In Japan, they offer book covers so you won't get judged. When you buy a book there, stores often provide a cover, a practice called tsutsume. This gives you privacy when reading in public. Staff will gently wrap your book in a cover of your choice, ensuring it's fully concealed. This way, you can enjoy your book in places like train stations or cafes without revealing its title or content, preventing any potential judgment. In Japan, trains are the main...
Is it still called hentai if it's like in book form, or is it only related to like visual form? I'm not sure. Well, no, I feel like because you can say that about anime, but no, I don't think it's called anime. What is it called when it's the comic book? It's called something else, I think. Anyway, but yeah, they read porn books is my point. And in porno magazines.
People get around. For elderly or disabled passengers, staff quickly...
Yeah, because I don't think it's called anime. There's another term. I've heard people say it many times. In manga.
place a small platform over the gap between the train and the station. This creates a smooth, level surface, so people in wheelchairs can safely roll on or off without worrying about getting stuck or tipping. Next, in movie theaters, they have trays that slide right into your cup holder. You can load them with snacks, and they swivel back and forth so you can easily share with a friend without awkwardly passing things over. When leaving or arriving in Japan, you'll often see staff waving or bowing outside your plane window. It's their way of showing appreciation and giving you a warm, wholesome send-off or welcome. They also have dual sauce containers. Squeeze one, and it snaps in the middle to dispense 2 complementary sauces at the same time. No mess, no extra packets, and lastly, in Japan, when you buy birthday cake, it usually comes with a knife, and hidden inside the knife's handle is a match. So you've got everything you need for the cake in one box. The knife, the match, and the cake itself. In Japan, they have black eggs that are said to extend your life by 7 years. These eggs are called kuro tamago, and you can find them in Owakadani, a volcanic valley formed by Mount Hakone. They're boiled in natural hot springs heated by volcanic activity, and the shells turn pitch black due to a chemical reaction with the sulfur in the water. Each bite is believed to prolong your life, and it's a one-of-a-kind local tradition that draws visitors from all over the world. Secondly, in South Korea, they have resealable cans. Normally, once you open a can of soda or any canned drink, there's no way to close it again, and that's when flies and other insects start trying to get inside. But in Korea, they've created a simple plastic lid that snaps over the opening to reseal the can. It keeps your drink fresh, prevents spills, and blocks bugs from sneaking in. It's cheap, smart, and should honestly be standard everywhere. Lastly, in South Korea, you knock to get your food. There's a fast food chain that's considered the McDonald's of South Korea called Lotteria, and it runs entirely on self-service. When you walk in, the first thing you do is sanitize your hands using a machine. Then, you place your order at a kiosk, scan your receipt, and it tells you which locker your food will be in. Once it's ready, you knock on the door of that locker, and your meal is served on a tray through the opening. There are no visible staff, no lines, and the whole process is vast, contactless, and futuristic. First, Japan has mandatory driver stickers that identify different types of drivers. It's a legal requirement to place specific stickers on the rear of your car based on your driving status. New drivers who've had their license for less than a year must display a yellow and green beginner sticker. Meanwhile, senior citizens age 70 and older use a different symbol to indicate their age to other drivers. It's a simple system that promotes safety, awareness, and patience on the road. Secondly, in Japan, they have floating trains. Transportation is a big deal in Japan, and they've taken it to the next level with magnetic levitation trains, also known as maglev trains. These trains literally float above the tracks using powerful magnets, allowing for smoother, quieter, and much faster travel. Lastly,
and I'm not saying none of these things exist. Well, obviously I'm not saying that, but the things that I'm pointing out, like, oh, I didn't see that, or I didn't see this, I am just surprised when it's something as visible as a train, you know? But I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm just commenting on what I've seen and just my genuine surprise. Like, this isn't like me criticizing anything. But yeah, and I wasn't just in Tokyo. I went to Osaka, Kyoto, and I was in Hiroshima, as the local said, or Hiroshima or whatever. So yeah, so I rode the train every day. And yeah, I didn't see that particular train, so I'm just curious where that's at.
There's free dry ice at supermarkets. Many grocery stores provide machines that dispense dry ice to keep your frozen items cold while you travel home. You just place your grocery bag under the chute, and the machine drops dry ice directly into it. It's simple, free, and incredibly useful. In both Japan and Korea, they have book sanitizers. Since germs, bedbugs, and even insects can travel through books, keeping them clean is a priority, especially in public spaces like libraries. These book sanitizer machines are designed to disinfect your book inside and out. You open the pages, place the book inside, press a button, and it uses UV rays to sanitize everything. It kills bacteria and makes the book safe for the next reader. Secondly, in Japan, you can make your own personal smoothie right inside 7-Eleven. They have pre-made frozen fruit cups filled with assorted fruits. You just grab a cup, scan the barcode on the smoothie machine, place it in, and it blends it for you on the spot. Lastly, Japan has KFC buffets. They love KFC so much, they turned it into an all-you-can-eat $20 buffet. When you first walk in, there are plastic food displays showing a visual preview of what's on the menu. This place has everything from pasta to curry, fries, salads, desserts, and even alcohol. It's not your average KFC like in the the US. It's a full-on dining experience. In Japan, some elevators have built-in seats. This isn't something you typically see in the US, but in Japan...
Oh my God. I was about to pause it because I've seen that many places around the world. Actually, I have seen one in the States. I want to say I was in New York. So this isn't very unique, honestly. And I've definitely seen this when I was in the Middle East a couple times. Pretty sure I saw it in Qatar and maybe when I was in Oman. So yeah, this is actually common. If you stay at like nicer, really nice hotels, they'll have somewhere where you can sit down.
Japan, these seats are mainly designed for elderly people or anyone who might need to rest during the ride. What's even more impressive is that these...
Okay, yeah, I'm not talking about these in particular. The ones I'm talking about, they're like a bench. Honestly, like a nice, lavish bench.
Aren't just regular seats. They double as emergency toilets and first aid kits. In case of a
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that.
power outage or elevator malfunction, the seat can be lifted and used as a sanitary toilet, offering a safe and private solution when you're stuck between floors. Some elevators even have anti-static finger pads near the buttons, so when you press them, you don't get that sudden shock of static electricity. Secondly, Japan has futuristic grocery carts. These smart shopping carts come with built-in touchscreen tablets that let you scan each item as you shop.
So these are like AI shopping carts. I've seen these on the East Coast, and I haven't seen them here. At the grocery stores I go to, I haven't seen them, but yeah, these have been introduced around the world and definitely in the States for sure. I know they don't always scan the food because apparently as soon as you put the food item in, it's supposed to scan it automatically, but sometimes it don't work. But anyway.
The screen shows you the price of each product and keeps a running total of your bill in real time. Once you're finished, you can pay directly from the cart. Then, roll it to a special table that locks in place, making it easy to bag your groceries. Lastly, in Japan, even the restrooms are high-tech. Most toilets have control panels offering features like heated seats, warm water cleansing, and built-in deodorizers. And if you're shy about bathroom sounds, there's even a privacy button that plays soft music or white noise to cover any noise. In Japan, bath salts are shaped like a Lipton tea bag. If you're a fan of bath salts, you can simply drop one into the tub like you're steeping tea. It slowly releases minerals and fragrance into the water while keeping everything aesthetically pleasing and mess-free. Secondly, in Japan, they have signs that encourage you to walk rather than taking the escalator. They motivate you to use
I'm confused. They got that you'll be fat if you take the escalator, but if you walk, then you'll be slim. Is that what this imagery means? That's hilarious.
Have signs that encourage you to walk rather than taking the escalator. They motivate you to use the stairs by displaying how many calories you burn with each step. As you climb, you'll see little markers showing how many calories you burned so far.
I haven't seen that, but that's
feel like a tiny victory. Lastly, in South Korea, when workers are cleaning the windows of tall buildings, there's always someone on the ground holding an umbrella. Their job is to shield pedestrians from dripping water or cleaning products, especially near store entrances, a small but thoughtful detail that keeps public spaces cleaner, safer, and more respectful. Comment which invention you'd want.
I cannot, child. And once again, these are just my comments and opinions based on my very limited experience, especially because the person who sent me this vid, they asked my opinion and said, oh, these things are so cool. Did you see any of these while you were visiting? Because they know I've been based on like my travel blogs and whatnot. And I am by no means an expert in Japan or Korea. I only visited for a short period of time, so I'm not saying that these things don't exist or trying to say that they're not super prevalent, but once again, I was in Korea for a week and a half maybe, and Japan for like almost 3 weeks, and most of these things I didn't see. So I do just think it's important to point out that you won't automatically see these things when you visit, and some of these things are definitely common in other places around the world. I just have to point that out because they're like, oh, these things aren't in the US, and it's like, bruh, a lot of this Japanese content, like I said, they are made by foreigners who don't live there. So I do think it's way more valuable and informative to get your content from actual Japanese people who live there. You're going to get way more accurate information. These people make these vids for like shock value and entertainment, and they are banking on the fact that you've never been, and they're banking on the fact that you'll never go. So it's like, how can you dispute what they're saying when you ain't never been or you ain't go, so people just eat it up and they're like, yeah, they take it as fact. This is everywhere you go, you'll see these things, and it's like, no, not necessarily. Anyway, interesting to see. I will keep my eyes open the next time I go and see if I peep any of these things. Y'all let me know what y'all think though, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.